Championship main event final table, where we are still five-handed. 5 of the 6 players who started the day remain. I'm James Hartigan alongside Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies. How are we still at 5 players?
And if I think back to some of the final tables we've covered, Joe, we've had long heads-up battles, we've had long 3-handed sessions. Sometimes you get 4-handed play goes on a while. This is new for us, to drag on for 3 or 4 hours with 5 players at the table.
This is new, and I don't know. I mean, these guys are very short at this point. Vela, Gentili, both coming back with sub-20 big blind stacks. Josephy, who's 3rd in chips and also 3rd from the bottom, only has 24. Aleksei, Opalikhin, who you just saw fold there, is 2nd in chips with 28 big blinds.
Yeah, Christian Harder really has control of this. More than 10 million, 83 bigs. Now that we've gone to the 60,000, 120,000 blind level, level 30 of the main event. And this is hand 87 of the final table.
Now, Christian Harder has had I would call a medium to weak stranglehold on this table for most of the day, and he's really getting into position now to tighten his grip, however. I think that he can really step on the gas now and ramp up his aggression even more. It hasn't been unbridled aggression, but I think we can start losing the bridle.
Well, this is blind on blind, unraised pre. Gentili ahead with king high. Checks the flop. Vela checks behind with 10-5. Eight on the turn. Gentili still ahead.
Vela's gonna take a stab, and that stab is gonna be good. So everyone jockeying for position at the bottom of the pack here. And the lower these stacks get, the less risk they'll be able to take also. And so they're just gonna
Where the heck is Harari?
I don't know who that is.
I mean, I sit next to him play blackjack last night and get smoked, and he said he's gonna be here all day, and he doesn't show up. Oh, too much.
Harari! Harari! Has anybody seen Harari? Said he was going to be here. No sign of Harari.
Have you looked out the back?
Oh, she came back full of energy.
Should I go out the back door and just see if Harari is back there?
Take a look.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we move on to hand 88.
Harari!
Action folded to Michael Gentili on the button.
Okay, so there was a guy back there, and
Yep.
if it was Harari, I think I scared him off.
Oh, Joe. And that hand
Blackjack I'd play.
was a walk for Christian Harder.
I had a good one. I had 8-3.
He's like,
I had a double.
I don't even have to be aggressive.
And then I draw 3.
Give me the chips.
This guy. Actually,
The disparity between the stacks and the fact that all these guys are bunched up does create an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
And of course, the pay jumps play a huge role in that.
13 times in 2 shoots.
Exit in 5th place and you're cashing for 141 grand. But if you make it to 4th, that's an extra 50K.
She couldn't break.
That's a lot.
Fold.
That's enough to bankroll your whole season on the PokerStars Championship. All the main events, probably most of your travel.
By the way, I appreciate that we played 88 hands in a fair few levels, so it's not like it's happened in 2 or 3 hands, but Michael Gentili came into play today as the chip leader, and he is now the short stack, and with 17 bigs, you could legitimately say he's in the danger zone.
Danger zone? You know what? I was mistaken earlier when I said Christian Harder came as the chip leader. He was 2nd in chips. You're right, James. They were pretty close, I think, but...
Yeah, it was very close, but officially, Gentili was top of the leaderboard.
Yeah. A lot of people on Twitch think Michael Vela might have been looking for Harambe.
Oh, should we have a 30-second silence?
Chips out for Harambe.
Somebody learned how to putt.
30-second silence, please, Michael.
That's got to be the greatest Adam
Honestly.
Sandler show out there.
No respect.
I mean, he broke the 30 seconds of silence to quote an Adam
Happy
Sandler movie. That's got to be just the ultimate slap in the face.
Gentili is under the gun, raising,
My raise was too much.
and he has a legitimate hand, kings.
For this one again, you and me.
Christian Harder, the chip leader, is on the button.
Backhand a lot, and Randy and I have 60.
All with threes.
Pair on pair.
And he folds it.
He seriously has not made a misstep all day today. I mean, how do you fold a pair five-handed with all the chips and be right? Nuts. What a frustrating hand that's got to be from Michael Gentili. Shortest stack at this table, wakes up with kings, no action. Nobody understands the frustration of no action more than I do.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I wake up with nothing.
That 5,000 was for you. Okay. For all your hard work. Gave the omelet lady today in the buffet $100. She almost fell down.
So did I.
So sweet, did you?
Yeah, she's so nice.
She is so
Best.
sweet.
I love that.
Today,
I give her 100.
I gave her 100 today.
What are the chances of that?
She did this. She went.
0%. She was so happy.
She went like this. She kind of grabbed her face and bent backwards like this.
Yeah.
That's
She
cool.
was just the sweetest thing.
You guys have breakfast together?
No.
Absolutely not.
Weird that.
I've been busting her chops all week too. I always
I
say the
got
wetter
2
the better,
omelets
and
today,
you know I've been having so much fun with her all week, and she's taken it and she's laughed. She's had such a good time.
And you got to give it away to keep it. That's
you
what.
should appreciate it, but her reaction
Yeah,
was priceless. It was
That's
just
what my
priceless.
sugar mama taught me.
She was real good with the omelet.
Yeah.
Christian Harder raising here with King
Buffet,
Jack suited.
Which buffet?
Sidens?
Yeah. Poseidon's, yeah. She was talking about her kids today.
Did you give me change? I don't think you gave me. Can you check that?
100 in there. Should be.
Maybe you gave it to me and I forgot to leave it there.
No, it's good.
So there goes her $100 tip.
I should know better.
We're done. I folded.
Sorry, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
My bad.
No.
I agree with Smitty on Twitter, who says it's been a really great final table. Good players, no tanking, some great plays.
It's fun to watch. I'm enjoying it. Moonchild finally made it for the final. Happily surprised with so many players left. Thanks for the good work. You are welcome.
It's 120 for you, please.
We'll, of course, continue following
Okay.
this five-handed final table with every single hand live, cards up,
Yes.
right through until its conclusion when we crown a winner here in the Bahamas.
Six pass.
Forwarded to Cliff Josephy on the button. King 6 off. Cliff has a 22 big blind stack.
He's coming in for a raise.
Raise 280. 10 pass.
280,000.
He's got the two shorter stacks to his left.
Well, Michael Vela is going to defend his big blind with Queen 6.
Check,
He's
Cliff.
dominated, and he does what he always does. He checks in the dark.
Queen checks.
Jack 7 deuce. King high still good.
I know we sometimes chastise people for checking in the dark, but if you're going to check like 100% of the time anyway and playing flow, it doesn't really seem that bad to me, to be honest. It's just one way to make things a little more interesting, you know? It's like, all right,
So Vela calls the C-bet of 280,000. The turn card is a queen, and it's domination rotation.
I wonder how often Josephy barrels a second. Can we talk about the fact that Vela just floated the flop, by the way, at Queen 6 of clubs?
Yeah.
We're all just kind of acting like that's totally normal.
Well, as you would say, he had a flush draw.
He did have a flush draw. He also had a queen draw, which he nailed.
Make bets. 550.
The board's pretty dry, though, and I wonder what Cliff thinks Vela's calling the flop with that he's now going to fold on the turn.
And Cliff has bet relatively big on the turn, 550,000, leaving himself 1.6 million.
And I think this is going to get him all the info he needs. I would be shocked if Cliff invested another chip after this.
A shove from Vela.
Now I would be extra shocked if he invested another chip.
And a quick fold from Cliff Josephy, who's now bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I thought you were knocking your hands actually.
Oh, no. You said all in, push your card.
Yeah, be careful, buddy. We don't want to see anybody get their hand mocked on a technicality. It's always very sad.
When I will watch this video this evening, it will be one of the most interesting video in my life.
What, the final table?
When I will watch this final table this evening, it will be very interesting.
You know what? Also,
Yeah,
very
most
interesting
interesting,
video.
more
We can watch it later.
The monkey that
But
scratches his
move-
butt and
move
falls
on
out of the
to
tree. Love that one. This guy knows what I'm talking about.
Opalikhin first to act here. And absolutely, you can watch the stream back afterwards. It's archived on YouTube. It's archived at PokerStars.tv. There's obviously the replay function through Twitch.
Spax on Twitch says stream delayed but commentary live. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think it's the second dumbest thing I've ever heard after your mother said I'm pregnant.
A walk
You gonna
for
start
Christian
America
Harder
today?
there.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that hand we saw between Josephy and Vela has confused a number of viewers. Jeff, it's the strangest hand of the day.
Yeah.
Guess Josephy figured he could outplay Vela. Weird float and weird double barrel.
I mean, it's where Josephy's instincts were kind of correct, knowing that Vela might just float him with an air ball and could get him off of something with a double barrel. If he doesn't catch the queen there, the hand plays out differently. But we've seen Vela a few times shove with hands where he kind of just destroys his equity.
10-7 of hearts for Christian Harder, and he raises the button. No, he calls. Opalikhin in the small blind.
Victor Odessa on Twitch asks, hi Joe, any chances to hear Fatima tonight? Yeah, if you want to go stand outside in room 2121 in the beach tower. Don't ask me how I know that. You do have a chance, however, to hear Elke.
Sosik.
Sosik. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. Oh, I love it.
Mount five, Mount five.
Mount five is so cool.
All in.
Oh, okay, all right. I heard the words all in. Was not expecting that, especially seeing that we've got a 4-3 of hearts.
Wow. And
what
gets two quick folds.
Hey, you want to limp in? Not in my pot.
What are you doing, shove?
Johnny backs. Sees a spot, takes it. 4 high.
Aleksei call?
Suck on that.
He called.
Still the shortest stack at the table.
Yes, just to confirm, Elke will be our next guest commentator on PokerStars TV, joining us in around 20 minutes' time.
Say hello to Laverne, James.
Hello, Laverne.
Laverne says, since happening on the tourney, remember the first day she said she stumbled across our stream on YouTube?
I do.
She said she's watched every night, long past her bedtime. Thanks, Laverne. Thanks for checking in.
Raise to 260.
All right, we got a hand shaping up. Opalikhin's a guy, by the way, who I think is playing far better than he has any right to be. I think that he is probably the least experienced person at the table, and it doesn't really show. I mean, there's some spots where he does some less than standard things. Although he does shuffle chips like he's played a little bit before, so maybe I'm off there. Folds the ace-6.
Christian Harder now playing more than 11 million, 91 big blinds. And just to keep things in perspective, the second biggest stack is Michael Vela with 29 big blinds.
That is 3x, everybody.
Michael Gentili and Cliff Josephy kind of tied at the bottom of the table with 15 big blinds each.
Isn't that 50% of the chips in play five-handed?
Pretty much.
Jeez.
Pretty much.
I just don't know how you even stay composed. Like, I'd be like on Amazon spending that money already. Like, just sitting at the table, just clicking stuff in my shopping cart. Breaking Bad coasters, need those. Yup, ding.
Radovan just got home from work after 5 hours and is shocked to find they are still five-handed. What on earth? Hashtag PokerStars TV. And of course, there's the live chat on Twitch as well, as Opalikhin decides whether to open ace-5 of hearts.
$260.
Raises to 260,000.
Josephy folds. Gentili folds.
Michael Vela is in the big blind. And King, Queen of diamonds. He moves all in. So this is a 15 big blind shove.
Now, we've seen Opalikhin in this spot a few times. Granted, not at this stage of the tournament, but earlier on, and he's almost always found a fold. We don't know what he was folding, and there it is, folds again.
Slightly more than 15 bigs, of course. Effectively 20 big blinds, which is the stack of Aleksei Opalikhin.
Wish I could read Mike McDonald's last couple tweets, but I can't.
Now that is Massimo Di Mario. He was the highest cashing spin and go qualifier. Remember, 135 players came to the Bahamas via a $10 spin and go, and Massimo cashed out in 22nd place for $24,500.
Is that 135 of the 135, or were there more? Because some didn't make it, right?
Well, we're not sure. We know that some qualifiers didn't come, but I actually haven't got the breakdown of whether they were spin and go qualifiers or regular satellites.
King Jack.
I had 10 deuce. Once again. I get a lot of jack queens, a lot of 10 deuce. Can't find a way to make them reach.
Il passe. 10 passe. 1 passe.
Oh, the wind blew and the keck flew.
What?
Doesn't matter. I love them. I love them.
290.
Christian Harder raising small to big with 10-6. Aleksei Opalikhin has 10-5 in the big blind. He's dominated. Meanwhile, a tweet from in through the window. They should give 1/3 size replicas of the trophy to the finalists. Nicer to display than a medal.
Yeah, but you can't wear a trophy around your neck, genius.
And remember, don't share your ideas on social media. If they're that good, send them to ideas@pokerstars.com. I'm liking Harder for this, not just because he currently has the best hand, although most of the time they're going to chop it. The reality is he's got position. He's out of position, but he does have the betting lead. And I'm kind of a little bit confused that Opalikhin even defended his big blind in that spot.
Yeah, it's a little random sometimes. I have an idea for a sitcom, James. It's about a part-time poker player who makes his living watching kids on recess, you know, like in a school as like a teacher's assistant, and his catchphrase is, "I can't handle the swings." Because it applies to both poker and the recess,
I love
the
it.
playground.
Well, look at the swing some of these players have had today.
Yeah.
Michael Gentili has lost 4.35 million chips. Aleksei Opalikhin has also seen his stack halve from the start of the day.
One pass.
It's looking good for Christian Harder right now. I don't see how you bet against him.
More like Christian easier, am I right?
C3 raise to 250.
Let's save that for the winners interview. I'm gonna write that down. More like Christian.
One pass.
And trust me, he does need to write it down because otherwise he will forget.
Oh, I will
even
forget.
even if he has to do the winners interview in an hour's time.
I got a lot going on. VJ in Windsor tweets in to say, something is about to happen. I feel it in my bones.
But what about your waters? What do your waters tell you? Because sometimes your waters can contradict your bones.
Where's my water girl?
We shall consult the
Wear
bones.
her out. She's gonna hate me.
You want some water?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Can anybody bring some more water, please? Yeah. Great.
Peggy on Twitch seems to think that you can't do an entire show based on one pun.
He's almost knocked it in perfectly. I would have had to give
Can't
you a
handle
TV
the
doll if you
swings.
got that one right.
Well, it's only the title. I assume that there would actually be a script and characters
No.
and story.
No, I insist on none of those things. And it's my way or the show doesn't get made.
If I were you, I wouldn't expect a call anytime soon.
Onion.
No one's called me in over 90 days.
Cliff Josephy all in, shoves small to big with 8-6, gets a fold from 9-6. Cliff still hovering around that 15 big blind mark. 101 hands played so far at this final table. So the Turbo Championship of Online Poker is coming. It starts in just 4 days, runs until the 29th of January on Stars, with $15 million in guaranteed prize money across the 65 events. And of course, satellites are running right now.
That is so crazy that it's the Turbo. I always thought it was the T-Coupe, like TEA. Like that, they don't have like the Earl Grey PLO and the Chamomile Badoogie.
The Darjeeling Deuce to 7.
Raise to 260.
I thought we were playing for all the tea in China. Harder makes it 260K. King Queen. And he's got the big blind to get through. Michael Vela.
Who has ace-4 and defends.
All right, he is going to just call. 30 big blinds. Seems like a lot to shove. I think it just calls fine.
I'll check.
And he checks dark.
Tell me how I did, Christian.
Top pair for Charter.
Now we saw
guess we'll see.
Vela float with Queen High.
C3 bets 260.
Is he going to call this C-bet with Ace High? 260,000. No, he folds.
It's hoping I hit you.
Huh?
It's hoping I hit you. Not too hard, but pretty well.
You had a piece?
I had a big piece.
I had an ace.
King, queen.
Yeah, I had an ace.
Christian Harder now playing more than 12 million. He's up to 100 big blinds. His nearest competitor, Michael Vela, has fewer than 30.
36, 40. He has 100 big blinds. 53 blinds combined for the rest of the table. That can't be right. I must have done bad math. 63 blinds.
Look at you guys.
Yeah.
I told the truth.
Still nuts.
I thought you said you hit that flop.
I did not. My hand was better than yours.
I was gonna
claim day
Mecha
three.
Master on
gonna
Twitch
ship
is
too.
right, by the
I was-
way.
well, it was-
It's all the tea in
When you did it, I
China.
thought you had air. I was gonna ship.
In China.
Didn't have the nerve.
It's good tea. It's incredible tea. I have the best
The
tea.
best tea.
Didn't have it. Thank you. Yeah, you can take all that.
We're going to make the tea coupe great again.
King Deuce for Josephy.
Come on.
They reasoning.
He's going for it.
Things are going to get wider. You know, Michael Vela's got his own personal little
Not had a
all-in
big pair
triangle.
all day.
Wow. Good fold.
Count.
Uh-oh. He thinks
1.76
this is a call. No. I don't know. Christian Harder's been able to play aggressive and tight at the same time.
Dude, aces.
Huh?
Tight,
aces.
aggressive, you say?
Today? Yeah. Oh, I did.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't
And I
it?
had queens
No?
also.
By the way, when I say it's a
It's a
call
nine
and then he
eights.
folds, it's probably a fold.
I
I'm
had queens,
probably
I had
wrong.
queens earlier too.
My big pair of the day, unless I forgot one.
Eights were good. This time.
I didn't have it.
I had an ace.
So it didn't
The
click.
very bottom of my range. Just,
Oh, wow. I should have called.
I didn't like your pause.
Should have called.
I might have been below my range.
I don't know what that. Can you be?
Man, just let it rip.
You just created a new range.
Just felt it.
That was the new bottom.
Just felt it.
Six, 8, and 10 pass. One pass.
Rounds the blinds. King 3 for Christian Harder.
Call.
He completes. Aleksei Opalikhin is in the big blind and has aces. Now, what's the play here? Check it back, see a flop.
I don't think so. I like a click it back. Give them a price they can't refuse.
I'm all in.
That might be a little bit ambitious.
There's just so many hands he's going to fold, that being one of them.
You go all in if I raise?
I guess.
Then I feel good.
I have something.
You had nothing? Or he had nothing?
I have something.
Oh,
He
you
had
had something.
something.
Oh, something.
Something interesting.
Yeah, I like when you say something interesting. Like that sneaky little 8-6 earlier today.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, me neither.
Half an hour into the
Blew me
level.
away.
5 players remaining from the 738 who started. Not today, obviously. We came into the final day with 6 players.
10 reasoning.
Michael Gentili is raised under the gun, moves all in with ace queen.
Going all in.
3 pass. Six pass.
Deuces, folded.
10 suited when Cliff did it, and 10-9 suited when he did it. It's a hand I can shift with. I can't call it.
Jeff Godley replies saying that you can't do a show with just one pun. Mr. Magoo only had one. Joey didn't have any, and they both lasted multiple seasons. Did Joey make it a season?
Really? I didn't think Joey made a single season, let alone multiple seasons.
That's more like it.
Could well be wrong. I never watched a single episode.
3 pass.
Charter folds Jack 7. Onto Aleksei on the button. All in.
6 pass. 7 raise. All in.
He's shoving the button.
And 10 pass.
Sorry, shoving from the small blind. And gets a fold. So the next hand, Joe,
Yeah,
is going to be hand 107.
you lost me.
Rasmus Glacial was eliminated on hand 7. That means 100 hands since our last elimination.
You lost me again.
5 hours since Rasmus was KO'd.
That's crazy. That's why when Rasmus came back, he must have been like, I've had some drinks, let's go watch the heads up. Nah. Nah, you're still the only joker that went out. Can you believe it? Iggly92 on Twitch asks, who the bleep is playing with his chips? That would be everyone in the entire room.
I think most of the noise is coming from Christian Harder, to be fair. King Jack, the hand for Gentili. He's shoved from the small blind. Ace 3, the hand for Vela. And he lets it go. Don't show you're folding an ace.
Yeah, I agree with not showing it. I mean, it's not crazy for him to be playing super tight, being second in chips with 27 big blinds, because at this point, like I said, Charter just gets to kind of sit back and watch, raise occasionally, just let these guys bleed dry.
It didn't matter, really. If you wanted to, let's go, and if not.
I was ahead by a little. Weak ace.
It's amazing we haven't done a single all-in since
So long.
I don't even know how it's possible, right?
Hours.
We haven't a single all-in.
Like 2 big hands dealt out. It hasn't happened
Table of
so long.
four nits and one guy running over it. I don't know which was which.
I'm just saying, in this long. He busted a 30-60, didn't he?
All right, you talked me into it.
I mean, that means I have a calling hand. All right.
All in.
Gentili shoving again, this time with King Queen. No one has anything to call him with. Canadian Hitman predicts at this rate, Rogue 2 will be out before this tournament ends, and Stapes will again debate whether to leave early.
Always the charm. Be careful.
I have failed me for the last time.
Every time except the last one. Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Every time except once.
You know when someone asks a question on Twitter and you're like, okay, I've acknowledged that, and in a few moments I will answer that person's question. And then they send it again.
Yeah, and you're like, F 'em.
And again and again.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, wow, you can't be patient just to wait one hand for that question to be addressed?
Yeah, it's
no,
annoying.
I'm not going to
Don't
answer
do it. Don't answer it. Which question is it?
Top one.
Oh,
There you
This
go.
one?
thought I had something different.
Oh man, that's such a good answer too.
Optical illusion over there.
Probably just bad eyesight.
I know that's no good.
One pass.
Just, we're here. Thanks.
It's 1.2,
Okay.
1.7, something about 2, 2.1, 2.
C3 raised to 270.
Want me to do the math for you? I'll help you. You teach me how to put it. Well, I'll do it.
Christian Harder raising with King 7. Aleksei Opalikhin has 8-9 in the big blind. And he folds.
Like a boss.
Careful, you might put Cliff Josephy on tilt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put an end to this because when we get heads up, we're gonna have way too many chips. Yeah, you're gonna have to start getting involved more.
Yeah, just remind you, I don't know if you mentioned at the beginning of this level already or not, but in 53 minutes under this level, we're gonna have a 1 hour dinner break.
Oh,
Okay.
that changes everything.
I want to go alive on
I would not have eaten that
I
banana.
want to go alive. on the break.
Bad banana
I want to
beat.
feel good on the break.
Oh, Harambe.
1 hour. I already set my alarm for a long time.
C10 pass.
So confirmation from Luca Vivaldi that there will be a dinner break at the end of this level. That's 53 minutes from now.
C1 raised to 265.
Michael Vela raising with ace 10. Round to the blinds.
Two pass. Six pass.
It's raise and take it. What's your prediction, Joe? Do you think we're going to be going to dinner with 5 players remaining?
Do I think we'll be going to dinner, official sponsor of the PokerStars Championship with 5 players remaining? All I know is that everyone at this table shall be participating in dinner one way or another. Yum.
It's like I had 6 kids or something.
I think it's very difficult for us to go to dinner with 5 players.
Mom, what's that called? Text me.
I barely needed 1 level. I forget 3rd level. I really needed to.
Christian Harder. Let's it go. Aleksei Opalikhin is on the button. And there's aces again. So he starts.
Calm down this time.
Yeah, he starts the hand with 16 big blinds. And the 2 players stacked behind him have very similar size stacks.
Even though it's going to be obvious you're fairly strong, I think you still just go for a regular size raise here. Let somebody else get antsy in the pantsy. Don't give them a chance. Even a limp, I prefer to jamming. Everyone's just playing so tight.
So he's got Cliff Josephy in the big blind, who has a slightly shorter stack than him, and Michael Gentili in the big blind, who's got a little bit more, but only about 20,000.
Poker Poise on Twitch says, ICM fold. It's funny, last time he had aces, you were like, what do you think he should do? Just call? And I was like, yeah, he should put in a little bet. And then he just jams. We're both wrong.
There we go. It's not going to be an all-in.
250.
It's a raise to 250,000. Cliff Josephy folds the small blind. Michael Gentili's got deuces.
All in.
And he shoves and gets called.
Raise, shove, snap.
The start of day chip leader, all in and way behind. Now officially, it's Opalikhin who's at risk, but he is better than a 4-1 favorite here. And should Gentili lose here, should aces hold, he'll be left with 1 big blind.
That's nuts.
I fucking knew it too, man.
Yes.
Wait the tank on the button. Wait the tank on the button.
Well, this is exactly
2 minutes.
how Opalikhin wanted this hand to play out, assuming that no deuces show up on this board.
The flop. Jack 8-5.
No flush draws for Gentili.
He needs a deuce. And he needs to see that deuce on the river.
No opportunities.
The river card is a king. Aces hold. Gentili's not out.
He's not out.
No. He's got Opalikhin covered.
Oh man, way to add insult to injury, because now you got to sit back down with like 3 chips.
Don't take the microphone off.
Yeah. Oh.
Everyone's.
Oh dear.
Look at this.
I mean,
Only 1 person.
he doesn't have many chips, but he still has
Ukulele's paying
a
attention.
chip and a chair.
He's got a chair, James. And in 2011, when I coined that phrase, all it takes is a chip and a chair. And what I meant then was that at this point, he's still in the tournament. He can still come back, right?
They were rooting for the wrong guy.
You guys get that?
No, absolutely. It's an ingenious expression.
Go,
Oh, wow. Aces?
And it's not just one chip, you know what I mean? He's got more than one chip. It's a metaphor. It's not, and he doesn't really have to have the chair.
Now I decided not to.
But it's the alliteration and the sort of, you know, the coupling
It's-
of the line that I was going for.
Rumors of his death were premature.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
So there's a very good chance that Michael Gentili will be all in on the next hand.
Is the betting good?
Let's just verify the stacks of the remaining 5 players. Opalikhin's now moved up to 4 million. He's got 33 big blinds.
Wow.
Michael Gentili with 145,000. It's just over 1 big blind.
Torture.
Oh, that is.
He's got to do the whole handshake thing now again if he goes out. I mean, I would want to come back just to not have to go through that awkwardness. Like, what do? You shake his hand again, like a hand later?
You put them.
Well, Michael Gentili is in the small blind. Most of his stacks already in. I imagine the rest will be joining it.
Raise 275.
Christian Harder opens under the gun with a raise to 275,000.
A couple of folks on Twitch giving Gentili a hard time for doing what he did with deuces. I think that's pretty standard, man. I don't think there's any other way to play that.
See that we raise
Cliff
more?
Josephy moves all in with King 10.
Man.
And basically, Michael Gentili just kind of has to call with any 2 and hope for the best,
Get her, Ray.
which he does.
All in?
Christian Harder now with the ace-8, which is the best hand.
7.
1.785.
He folds, so here we go. Gentili at risk.
I just figured you were raising any 2 there.
Which one? Which one?
Yeah.
Would you see an ace?
Charter
Ace
folds
off.
an ace again.
Ace 8 off?
It's just a good spot for you.
This is mine here.
Yeah, this is yours.
The start of day chip leader at risk.
My lightest 3-bet all-in of the day.
There's a strong chance he busts
You're not
in
getting
5th place. He's got 2 live cards, looking for a 9 or a 7. The flop
Me.
has a 7 and a king.
Ah.
5 outs for Michael Gentili. He will need a 9 or a 7 on the river.
And a 9 can't be a spade. Because he's holding it in his hand.
It's the king of clubs.
Thank you. Thank you for doing it.
And that will see Michael Gentili bust in 5th place, $140,940. But obviously his ambitions would have been set considerably higher when he came into play today as chip leader.
Do you think that that's going to be like the dam breaking, James, that now that we've lost that 5th place finisher, that these players may open things up a little bit, or are we going to go right back to where we were?
Possibly. I mean, everyone is now locked up an additional 50K.
Yeah, sit and
No, obviously, you'll know. I mean, or you know.
Had about
Well, Cliff Josephy still the shortest stack with 18 big blinds. Christian Harder,
Yes, sir.
the chip leader with 95
back, I
big
would've
blinds.
liked
Now,
it.
we made a lot
I
of
would've been
references
60
to the
for
fact that Christian Harder finaled this event in 2000.